79,000 miles and 312 hours on the generator. This is a big 40-foot diesel pushing Safari Cheetah. What is it, a 40 PBQ, something like that, here at Haylett RV Brokers of Coldwater, Michigan. And amazingly, one owner for the entire lifespan of this RV. You will only be the second owner of this beauty. And as is often the case with a one-owner rig, it's been well maintained because the first owners, the people who tend to put the largest investment in a coach, they tend to be the people to take the best care of it. Now, there's certainly second and third owners that do an excellent job, and there's sometimes first owners who don't do a fantastic job. But this one seems to follow that pretty stereotypical path. Like most coaches, we have a 7-foot interior. I love that soft touch ceiling liner up top, though, because one, it just drowns out the noise. Like, the generator's running. You can't hear it. I mean, it's a super quiet diesel generator anyway, but you really can't hear it. And here's part of the reason why this vent is actually really helpful right now. You see how thick that is? That's how much like noise blocking, insulation, all those different factors are, you know, you kind of get a peek at how much we're looking at up there. This is dual air, of course. I mean, there's not much, especially for the year this is built. This has pretty much all the widgets and whiz bangs possible. We're on a Cat 350 power plant, so it's got power for days. If you do want to be, you know, traveling through hills and mountains, it will definitely get you there. And this right here is a good example, one of the best aspects of a Class A versus a Class C. In that almost every single Class A coach, your seats can turn around when you reach your destination to expand your living space. Whereas in a Class C, that stuff kind of gets lost. Now up here by the driver, our master control panel, you see our power gear electric leveling system over there. The Allison transmission. Hidden down behind the steering shaft there is a Prodigy P2 brake controller, which is probably the best available at the time this is made. The P3 I don't believe had even been invented yet. So, you know, if you are going to put something behind this that does have brakes, very easy to operate. Naturally, we have the front power shades, and like most people who had coaches during this generation, the electronic systems have been updated, upgraded to something a little more modern and flat screeny. Now, our blackout kind of front shades there, those are power drop. The side shades that you've seen, those are a manual, but they're like, these things are just smooth as butter. Everything I found in this mechanically is in just top order. These feel good. All the cabinetry hardware, everything looks good, and it's all hardwood cabinetry at that, mind you. As we work our way back around here, I love this little L lounge. It's uncommon, but there's just something very cozy about it, and I think it's because that L shape kind of faces toward the front recliners, or, well, yeah, I guess recliners, but captain's chairs, in a sense, would be probably more of an appropriate way to say it. So it really, I don't know, makes it a very social seating arrangement here. Now, the kitchen is fantastic because the kitchen is part of this super slide. So if you crack everything open and take a look, you see that there is just gobs of overhead cabinet space next to that convection microwave oven. And then up here, naturally, you have some almost kind of like pantry shelving. Down below, since that is a convection microwave, like most things, you do not have a gas oven in there. And they just never waste an ounce of space down here below the cabinet to always give you maximum capacity. And you see the easy reach drawers there as well. Naturally, below our flush mount sink covers, we do have stainless sinks. And actually, when I first got into this RV, the owners had the sink covers tucked away in their little ride location like you're supposed to. That is real tile. There are some replacement tiles. God forbid you drop something heavy or sharp or whatever and crack one of those. So you can get those replaced with an identical match. Big skylight above. But there is a sunshade for that as well. And just like we were looking at earlier, I don't know if you caught, that is, of course, in a coach like this, no surprise, a larger Max Air style, like big vent fan to really get the air moving around in here. And I can see the roof vent cover in place on that. Big 4-door refrigerator and freezer on that. That is, those type of two-way gas electric, roughly 18 cubic foot refrigerator freezers, those are really only in the last couple of years finally becoming available in the towable RV market. They've been here in the motorized market, obviously, for much, much longer. Largely because in the motorized market, it's a less price-sensitive issue than it is versus towables. That does appear to be a more conventional inner spring hide-a-bed, although doesn't seem to really be bolted to the floor. That'd be easy to swap if you're kind of curious. Day-night shades for all the windows. And that big mirror right next to the side of the fridge right there, reflecting a lot of extra sunlight from those windows. Makes this whole room look and feel large. Now this table is a true freestanding. It's very, very residential in nature. The table can move around, the chairs can move around, and there's a pair of fold-away guest chairs in the rear closet that you'll get to see. jumping through that door here into the walk-through mid-bath. Excellent linen space in this thing. And you see that there's actually a holder for a hanging rod up top. These are adjustable or removable shelves. You could turn that into some serious storage space if you are so inclined. Our master controls are kind of in the mid area here. You see the controller for the Magnum Inverter. So if you want to be able to run just about anything in this coach, like your power outlets, when you're not plugged into shore power running your generator, you can do that right here, which is so handy. And all the slide buttons and tank controls and all that. The 12-volt heaters and 120-volt water heater system. This has a residential water system or water heater system in it also. Very, it's all right there. Now the bathroom arrangement on this is a little unconventional, but I actually kind of really like it. But when you have a 40-foot coach like this, you have room to really do some nice stuff like solid surface bath counters here. But notice you've got a toilet and a sink all encapsulated in one room here with some extra cabinet space for like extra hand towels and whatnot in the bathroom below that rain sensoring max air fan. But when we close the door, you're treated to a full vanity over here. So you've got a sink next to a sink. But what's nice is that means that you can wash your bathroom hands in the bathroom without ever actually even like leaving the door, touching a door handle, anything like that. Now naturally, as we turn around, the one thing we haven't seen is the shower, which it's a seamless one-piece molded fixture inside with like a corner seat, almost kind of like a garden tub, but not quite. And with this being super tall and just a Mondo skylight, which technical term, but you're never going to have headroom issues in here. This was made before king beds were really common in a coach, so that is a queen. But what is nice is it was made with these big side stands, and you see how there's household residential outlets on either side stand right up by your head. So even though CPAP machines were not really common when this was made, because it was equipped so heavily, it actually has remained basically very current and modern in that the fact that it's very like CPAP capable. Now when we get back here, you can obviously see that full closet. You saw the fold-away chairs. But again, if we take a look and open that up, you can see how there's the combo washer-dryer in there, and obviously the entertainment center has been updated. And then as we sweep down, slide numbers 3 and 4 are back here in the bedroom. This has opposing bedroom slides. There is a ton of long-term dry storage in here. So if you are going to go full-time, this is a great coach for it. She's fully equipped and ready. One of the things you don't see, actually by intention, is the diamond shield layering on the front. Basically, from the windshield down the entire front nose has a stone guard layering on it so that stones flung in transit from oncoming vehicles don't chip up the front of your beautiful, fully painted diesel pusher. And what's nice, the folks were so on top of their care, maintenance, upkeep, and records and everything, all of the original touch-up paints they still have in a drawer inside. I saw those when I was going through it. Now it's super windy. I'm doing what I can here. Hopefully the wind is not really affecting the camera too much. There's only so much I can do up here by the road. 8,000 quiet diesel generator, and I don't know if you're hearing it, but it is running right now. Now it's not under a real heavy load, so it hasn't really had to amp up, but it's running like a top. It fired right up, and as you can see here, we have actually, during all my filming and stuff, I have, it looks like, turned over the tenths meter on that, because it was saying 312, it's now reading 313. There are side view cameras on this as well, so it's not just rear view, and once again, that is something that there's still plenty of coaches that lack that feature, although that is becoming more available even in the upper end of the Class C market. Slide awnings, and then window awnings. I mean, all of the awnings possible are on this thing. Some of the tires were replaced in 2017, some in 2019. I suspect the front tires were replaced in 17, and the rear tires were replaced in 19. And I base that just off the coloration of them and what looks to be the level of sun exposure. Although, I mean, if I go down this thing, it looks terrific. I don't know if they had this stored in a barn, under a cover, or if they were just fiends about washing and waxing. But whatever it was, they did a good job of it. Now, naturally, being a pusher, you have the opportunity for these huge pass-through storage bays that a gasser just wouldn't be able to do due to the fact that it would have a drivetrain running through that area. And this door and the one that we just passed, they're actually, you know, 2 doors to the same compartment, but it's so big, they wanted to give you 2 different doors to it. And all the gas struts and the latches and everything, like sometimes people at these things get kind of corroded or they wear out and they don't replace them. Like I said, mechanically, everything is really sound as a pound on this thing. Let me open this up back here. Wind must have caught it on us. That is our power cord reel. So it's got that big, heavy, you know, 50 amp cord, but it's got a power extension retraction reel and like, you know, cable drum in there to wrap that all up. Now I have to do some looking. Standing here right now, I realized that I actually didn't memorize the towing capacity of this one. Knowing what I know about these, I'm pretty confident that's a 10,000 pound hitch on the back there. So basically it'll do just about anything you want to do, and that's one of the areas where these big Class A's will trump most Class C's. Jayco's and their Greyhawk series having the best Class C towing rating at 7,500, in case you're curious what the difference is. So like I said, Cat 350 diesel, although there's, you know, not much to see by just cracking the panel open, but I know people like to see inside there. Blue Ox tow bar, as far as I know, everything goes with it, everything you see here. You can see the vent for the washer dryer sticking out the side over there. And down below, you'll see the Magnum Inverter. Now, we saw a control panel for it inside, but I don't know if these folks cleaned inside their bays regularly or what, but like, I know that's not new, but it looks fairly new. And then when we get over here, I think these batteries are virtually new because they are not like dusty. I mean, in the slightest, they're not, you know, they look fantastic inside of here. Once again, let me get you a close-up look at the tires here. I didn't really do that before, but you can see no funny wear, tons of tread left on these sneakers, no dry rotting, weather checking, anything like that. We've already seen through these compartments, but we'll just go ahead and do a quick flyby on the opposite side here since they are full pass-throughs. And there is your onboard propane system where it's pretty easy to reach. I noticed that there was a propane quick connect in the very front compartment over there. So I suspect that there's probably a left and right propane fill on this thing, which wouldn't surprise me because it's a big rig. It's, you know, not exactly nimble. And sometimes some places only have a fill on one side or the other. Good news is propane hoses are just like any other hose. They can be pretty long if you need them. She looks fantastic. She looks absolutely fantastic. The fiberglass roof, all the seals, everything's looking good on this. Now, this is a very high level, despite its age, it's still a very high level, very well equipped, very involved RV. It's the kind of thing that I can only give you a quick flyby. There's no way I can answer every single question every single person could possibly want to know. So if you do want to know a little bit more, you give our team down here at Haylett RV Brokers a call, and we are more than happy to go through this thing with you. So with that, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.